Welcome, everybody, to another adventure into reality. Fuck my own opening up. I am Andrew Bartzis, your host and the Galactic historian, blah, 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 blah. You know what it is. Today is a live call-in show. There are any subject you want to talk about, any conversation you want to talk about, you could just talk to me like a human being. You could come in for a reading. You could talk about galactic history. This is open call-in. So we're going to have a link inside the chat and a link inside the Zoom room. My God, I'm just fucking everything up. A link inside the show chat and in the description, a link. We'll also have a link to come into the Zoom room where you can click the reaction buttons and click raise your hand. From that, we will select who wants to raise their hand. And from that, we will make your selection for a call-in. So if you are in the Zoom room right now and want to talk to us, click raise your hand. And the first hand is raised. Second hand, third hand. All right. Invite all of you to come in. Joel, let's give a signal to Leah to unmute. Leah, are you there?
Hello, Andrew. Yes.
How are you doing?
Trying to start my video, but it won't work. I'm well, thank you.
How been things? God, I can't talk today. How things been since how things been since we talked last?
Things are really well. My moods are up because I have been getting it in.
Literally.
Yeah, I don't want to get too graphic if that's not the topic of today's conversation, but I always appreciate your advice. And a few years ago, I had asked you what I needed to do, and you told me I needed to do a forgiveness exercise, and I did it, and it really worked. And so this time, when you gave me my advice, it really worked.
Yeah. For the callers that are in there, this is Leah's the lady that called in that a husband that had cancer, and a lot of the challenges were her emotionality and then shutting down her divine feminine side. And you don't have to get graphic, but what made it work for you?
Well, first of all, I think realizing that the answer to my anger was very simple. It wasn't some convoluted knot that I had to untie. It was just like one thing in my life, my intimacy, that I was neglecting. And as soon as I realized that and decided to turn it back on, so to speak,
literally,
my mood just got better. I haven't yelled at my kids in a month since we last talked. I haven't sworn at the TV or gotten really upset over politics, even though it's a huge burden on my heart right now, what's happening in the world. I'm able to manage it better than I have in months.
Okay. Was that suggestion of having to deal with the part of yourself that had the college experience help you reclaim that side to yourself?
I think I'm still gonna work through that one a little bit because I'm trying to get to the root of like why I did that. And I think the simple answer, like I said, was money. Any kind of sex work, like that's the benefit.
Yeah.
But there's a lot more negative aspects. And so I'm trying to uncover like what may have been the other roots to that, including sexual trauma or just insecurity. And I guess the reason I'm calling today is because I'm ready and curious to look a little deeper into my soul.
Okay.
For some answers or for some guidance of things that I can keep working on.
So you have brought in enough of your other self to relieve some of the rage and anger that was ready like an avalanche to blow up on stuff.
And was blowing up on stuff. Yeah.
How has your relationship with your husband been?
A lot closer. Like we've had real deep conversations about our connection and our future, and even discussing like moving if necessary, if that was what we needed to open doors.
Okay.
Which I think we've decided not to do, but I think that was just proof that there was a lot we weren't talking about.
Okay, it got a lot of unsaid stuff off the table so that you don't have to worry about it privately anymore.
Yes.
Okay.
And I realized that he's more of an equal partner than I maybe gave him credit for.
Okay.
In that he was like so willing and open to work through this with me. And and again, that was huge because I guess I was embarrassed, or I thought like it couldn't come back, or that I had ruined something. And that was not the case.
It just shows that he loves you.
Right.
Yeah.
And it reminded me how much I love him.
Yeah. It's a re-acknowledgement of the flame that exists between the two of you.
Yeah.
All right. So how are the kids doing? You're not yelling at them? You know, a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old?
A 3-year-old and a 6-year-old, yeah.
3-year-old and a 6-year-old.
It's been a big couple weeks because the older one's back in school and the younger one like really misses his brother and wants to go to school. But again, I'm able to manage the emotions of the other people in my family because I'm not just overwhelmed by my own.
Okay. So some of the emotional challenges that you've overcome, what are some of the emotional challenges that are still there?
Well, I definitely think there's an element of like guilt and shame around my sexual history and my sexuality in general.
Okay.
And
all right, so first part of the recipe, you've already done a forgiveness journey and you know how much that works. Okay?
Yeah.
You have to start a forgiveness journey specific to the body count you think that you've got in your lifetime. That I forgive myself for letting this many people into my field in a stupid unknowingness or the challenge that I was at a younger age. And begin to forgive yourself for everything. You don't need an absolute accurate body count, but forgive yourself for each individual. Let's just call it 65, 75, whatever the number is going to be. You do number 1, I forgive, number 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up until you think you've relatively got to that number. And you don't need to know names, but if you do know names, that's okay. Each one, I forgive myself. And I release that energy that's inside me that I have stored as shame, blame, and guilt.
Yeah, that definitely rings true.
Okay.
So we're talking about like a journal exercise where I'm writing this down.
It's going to be a journal exercise. It's going to be a ceremony. It's going to be partially a daily or every couple day practice. This is not something you're going to do in a handful of days. This is going to be something that you spread out over a month. Okay.
Yeah.
Like go
And then
from
do
full
I
moon.
burn it? Because I really want to burn it.
Yeah, that's the ritual and ceremony of letting go, like from full moon to full moon. Started on a full moon or started on your moon cycle, and the next moon cycle, you're going to be done with it. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay? Once you start having the moon cycle and the menstruation starts, that's the time you start recalling parts of yourself and going through the forgiveness journey. That's a natural shamanic practice all women should be practicing. But this is specifically to forgive yourself of allowing those in. And there'll be a variety of phrases that you'll come up when I forgive myself for doing it for money. I forgive myself for doing it for power, so on and so forth. And after a while of journeying that, you'll have a better understanding of the many reasons why you did it. No one reason is going to be dominant all the time. There'll be a common theme.
Yes. Sorry about that.
Okay. And then the next thing is, when you met your husband, where were you at in your emotional, physical, and sexual journey?
Gosh, I was at a low point for sure. I had just had an abortion. And so I was coming to terms with the fact that, like, wow, I've let myself sink into a very dark place.
Okay.
And then he was in a similar place. So we like bonded over that. I guess that's trauma bonding.
Sure. But you also discovered something out of it. And this is where you have to acknowledge that was the low point in my life and recognize that as a victory. And how many years have you guys been together, not just married?
14.
You've been together 14 years. So there's 14 years of victories for you to count. And this is something you're going to do separate of the forgiveness. You're just going to forgive first, do that for that month. And the next thing is you're going to look back at the last 14 years of your relationship and look for the victories. Okay? Not the bad times. Sometimes the bad times reveal the victories, but what are the true victories you've had in your life's journey with him?
Yeah, in 14 years, there's been a lot.
Right. So it's forgiving of the past and accepting the victories that have happened. This type of a cycle can bring a tremendous amount of emotional empowerment, emotional intelligence back into you that has been divested because of the shame, blame, and guilt.
Divested is an interesting word. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next thing is when you had your first child, what was the bliss or what was that state of birth like for you?
Oh, it didn't last long because my mom died like 3 months postpartum. So
that's what I was sensing.
Yeah, that was rough.
Did you really mourn her fully lost, full gone? She fully mourned?
I say no because I'm still grieving, but I think I've done really good work.
You're still grieving. It's okay. Okay. I had a friend die, a very, very close friend die back in 2016, and I'm not over it yet. Okay.
Natalie.
Even with all my emotional skills and et cetera, I'm not over it yet. There are certain parts of it I just can't accept.
Yeah.
I'm ready to. Okay. But just knowing that the acknowledgement lessens its power over me.
Yeah.
The same thing will apply to you. Just knowing where you are at with it. Okay? Compared to when you were highly hormonal post-birth. Okay?
Yeah, that one's so sad because it like sucked the joy out of a moment in time that I don't get back.
You do get it back. You get it back when you decide to acknowledge it. Because you can go back to that time and going, it helped me get through it. The love of that child and having to pick him up and feed him and change the diaper and learn how to be a mother.
Yeah.
It did get you through it.
Yeah.
And her spirit was there with you in its own way, helping you through it.
Yeah. I felt her.
Yeah. What was the second birth like?
Much more like under my control. So the first birth was in a hospital and the second one was at a birth center. And the two births were just so different in the manner in which I was treated as a mother and a human being. The hospital is so clinical and it's everything is like an emergency, even if it's not. And then the birth center was just quiet and calm and no one was in the room until the moment I needed them. And yeah, two totally different experiences.
How long did
They
the
were
bliss
both good.
last?
How long did what last? I'm sorry.
The bliss of birth last, being the fresh birth energy. How long did it last in you?
2 weeks, maybe.
That was cut short again.
Yeah.
What cut it short?
He had an emergency accident. He almost choked on a pacifier clip.
Okay, so another emotional emergency pulled you out of it.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the time where you're going to heal those traumas that pulled you out of it and say they lived. Nothing was seriously happened. I now allow myself to go back to that post-birth state and watch my children at the age they are today and channel that post-birth energy that was muted during that time. And I embrace it to come back into me as creation, inspiration, and a mother's smile.
Oh, I love that. I'm going to have to listen to that over and over again.
And you're going to channel the you that was in that post-birth energy, watching that new life grow. Okay? Because now they're 3 and 6, and you're still growing.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Did you ever have any career path?
Well, yeah, I considered myself kind of like an energy worker and healer for a long time, but amidst all of my other life things going on, that never really materialized for me.
Okay.
Like I never really carried clients. I mean, I did work on friends and people that I cared about, but I never really ran a business.
What energy work did you train in?
Reiki.
Just Reiki?
And yoga and color therapy and the beginning of Chinese medicine. And I have like a 16-month certificate where we studied a bunch of different holistic practices.
Okay. So when you're done doing the forgiveness journey about the body count and have done the victory count and have done the emotional release of understanding the morning where you're at, okay, and then accepting the birth energy. So each one is a cycle you want to give yourself. Now, the forgiveness will take a little while. The morning, it's going to be an on and off thing for you that you're going to come back to a few times a year, okay? So you may only do it a couple days here, a couple days there, maybe 3-4 days here. And then the rest, again, it's not all good. The forgiveness one is the long one. So this next one is you're going to set yourself on a 3-year path. So from the 3-year-old, when that 3-year-old becomes 6 and the 6-year-old becomes 9, you're going to try to re-enter training once or twice a year. You're going to go to a 2-weekend class or a couple-day class. You're at a time where you can leave for the weekend. The family will survive. Okay.
Yeah.
And that it's time for you to re-engage that career path as the children grow by beginning the education system again. Okay. Try not to do online classes. You need human contact.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. You need human contact. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And what can you go and do? You can do cranial sacral therapy. You can go and try and do a massage class. You can do myofascial release. All techniques that you can bring home and practice on your family. Okay.
Yep.
On a regular basis, and that gives you 3 years to work out. Do I want to stay a mother full time until they're older? And that may be a real choice for you, and there's nothing wrong with it. It means you just still educate yourself. So you'll have another 3 years or 5 years of educating. And once they reach a point where they're self-sufficient enough, you can pick up, and then you have all those classes you've taken to start.
Yeah.
Okay?
That feels good because it has felt like I've had to give up my
Sure.
dream, so to speak.
Sure. But at the same time, it was
If I'm
replaced by the
good
love
at
of
it
children.
anymore.
Okay? It was also replaced by the love of children.
Yeah.
Okay? But it is still a trauma. And now you got to heal that trauma by saying, I'm not giving up. I'm going to start again. Okay? That's why I said you set yourself on a 3-year plan. Okay? At the end of 3 years, you could have 5 different skill sets under your belt.
Yeah. That'd be great.
And before you were saying about moving, is that it? What's the reason for you staying?
What's the reason for me staying?
You staying where it's at?
The land that I am going to inherit
Okay.
when my dad passes away.
Okay.
I'm just emotionally attached to it. I have a hard time leaving.
And is your father ill, or is he still kicking good?
He's for 77. He's still pretty good.
Okay, so it's not anything immediate that you're going to be inheriting.
No.
Okay. And how much land is it you're going to inherit?
It's 30 acres.
Okay. How far away is it from where you live now?
An hour and a half.
Okay. And how far is the biggest city from you?
I'm in the biggest city in the state. It's only got about 30,000 people.
What's the city?
Helena, Montana. It's the capital.
You're Helena. All right. How much yoga experience do you have?
A lot. I've been doing it since I was 19. I've taught over 250 classes.
Okay, so you have yoga teacher training already.
Yeah.
All right. So with the child, the way he is, a child in school, and since you can create your own yoga studio that can have somewhat of a mini daycare in it, where you have a hired person to take care of the children while mothers can come in and do yoga.
I have thought about that many times.
And then it allows it's an hour of daycare while they're doing their hour of yoga. Yeah. You just add that price of the daycare to it, and you make that a part of the add-on journey. And then, clearly open a yoga studio.
Yep.
Okay? Bring the kid with you. Okay? Bring the 3-year-old with you.
Absolutely.
Okay? There's nothing stopping you from doing that other than your own self.
Yep.
Okay? You can do yoga for pregnant women, specific yoga things that can help release the lower back pains, all their types of stuff like that. Okay? Post-birth recovery yoga. Okay?
Yeah,
and even yoga for kids, yoga for infants, help stretch your kid's body.
Yep.
Your infant's body. Okay.
Yeah, this is all great advice, and thank you so much.
Okay. One last thing.
Please.
And it's something I've been sensing in you from our last call.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on with the sensitivity in your lips and kissing?
Downstairs? Or upstairs?
No. In general. Your lips are something. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, Andrew.
So if it is downstairs, is there an issue?
Nothing beyond fear.
Fear of what?
God, I don't know. I've got something.
Okay.
I think it has something to do with an old relationship, but it's just
I'm
latent trauma.
I'm going to add something to it. When you were a sex worker, there was a lot of sperm on your lips. Yes, agree?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. That is something you need to do as a clearing on your lips, your mouth, your tongue, your jaw, your throat. Okay. All of those things that were inserted there have to leave. They've all left an energetic imprint. Okay? And for a while, as you're trying to clear it, it's going to be a rigid energy, and you're going to have to actually like put your fingers in your mouth and pull them out, quite literally. And it might feel like you're pulling many phalluses out at a time. Okay? And you may often feel choky at it. Okay? So it's imprinted something into your jaw. At the base of our jaw are three major nerves that go into our motor cortex, and that stuff's embedded there right now.
Okay.
Willing to bet a lot of that instant avalanche verbal abuse was that.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
And then you could do the same thing for any of the other parts of your body that got stuff in it, on it, etc. Okay.
Is this something that I'm going to be doing energetically, or like with herbs, or combination, or like just create a ritual for myself?
Combination. Okay.
Okay.
Combination. Do you ever smoke cannabis?
A lot. Like a lot.
How much are you smoking?
I go through probably an eighth a week, and I've been smoking since I was 14 and never stopped.
How often is it really more than an eighth a week?
I mean, probably once a month I go over that limit.
So you're looking at about
like an ounce a month. Yeah.
You're doing an ounce a month.
Yeah.
That's not an eighth a week. That's a quarter a week.
Oh God. See, I don't even know. I've been smoking like since I was 14 again. Like, I don't have any concept.
How good is the weed?
I mean, it's pretty good.
Is it legal in your area?
Yeah.
Does it have a percent on it when you buy it?
It's medicinal. Yeah, it's like 25 to 35% most times.
You got to cut that down.
I know I do.
So you need to go to something in the 17%. And if you could preferably buy the stuff that's for cancer patients that has a very high CBD, if you can find something that's like 11 to 17% THC and 19% CBD, or 11% THC and 11% CBD, you'll be far better off. You'll get a way better mental high out of it. What's going on is you're reaching a point where the higher strains are actually creating some of the memory loss effects, and it makes it very challenging when you're actually trying to do spiritual work when you're high forever.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Okay. And then you're going to have to give yourself a challenge to cut that a quarter a week down to an eighth a week.
Okay.
If it becomes too hard, you just start journaling about how hard it is and go back to a little bit more. Go to an eighth and a half an eighth more per week. Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely an emotional crutch, and I do recognize that.
Do you mix tobacco with it?
No.
Good. All right. Do you smoke cigarettes?
No.
Okay. Do you use any other kinds of medicinal herbs?
No, I really don't. I've played with psychedelics in the past, but not in a long time.
Not in a long time. All right. All right. So have you ever cooked cannabis into oil?
Yeah, I feel like I'm not great at it, but I'd be willing to try it again.
Okay, you can go online and watch videos that teach you how to do it. So what I'd like for you to do is buy a cheap ounce of green. It doesn't have to be good stuff. It's just cheap. And you're going to cook that whole ounce into like a 20 or 30 ounce bottle of cooking coconut oil, the good stuff with the chunks in it.
Yep.
So you're going to cook it down. Roughly takes an hour, right around 210 degrees. When it's done, you're going to let it cool. That 1 ounce will be suspended into that coconut oil. Do you have a bathtub?
Yep.
Big one, small one?
Big one.
All right, great. So what you're going to do is fill the bathtub up with as hot of water as you can stand and add 5 to 6 cups of Epsom salt into it. And then you're going to take about a half a cup of that oil you cooked your cannabis down, and you're going to add it to the water. And before you get in, you're going to slather your body head to toe, hair, everything with that cannabis oil. And then you're going to get in and you're going to soak. What's going to happen is your mind will not get high, your body will get high.
Mhm.
And you will reach a state of body relaxation unlike you've ever had before. And there will be an opportunity for you to do some very deep spiritual regenerative work. It'll make that forgiveness journey easier. It'll make the energy with passing of your mother easier, all of that stuff. Or I'm just tired and exhausted and I need rest and recovery.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the cool thing is the Epsom salt will keep the oil floating at the top. So if it gets cold, you can drain it out and just keep adding more hot water to it.
Oh, okay.
And that oil will stay good in that bath for hours and hours and hours and hours. Like you could actually like the next day go back into it and reheat it and it would still work on you. Remember, the oil will stick to the outside of the tub, so when you're done, spray the shit out of it with cleaning soap. Okay.
Mhm.
You know, it can be very slippery. And then when you get out and after you've dried off, put more oil on your skin again. And then just put your clothes on. What you're going to discover, it will give you a whole new lease on mental body life.
Kind of like soak it out the old junk, huh?
Well, the cannabis, the THC, is directly absorbed through your pores. It will
Yeah.
not transfer to the blood. And THC, because it's already been cooked to decarboxylation is in it. Your liver has to convert it into the blood. So that means the skin's going to store it and use it as a regenerative, relaxing process. And then it'll feed that excess THC direct to your gallbladder, which will create an even stronger, deep inner core relaxation. Yeah? It will relax your central nervous system. Tremendous amounts of, after you do it, you'll be like, holy fuck, why didn't I ever learn about this before? Okay? Try not to smoke cannabis in it your first few times.
Yeah, okay.
So you truly know what it does. After that, smoke away. Okay? Okay?
Yeah.
It could be your 4-hour vacation from life. It'll really feel like you've gone away and come back.
That would be nice.
Okay? And then the final thing, what's your cooking like?
It is less organic than it used to be because I used to make everything from scratch and I buy more frozen food than I would like.
Okay.
But I do love to cook.
Do you ever use an outside grill or a smoker?
No, we don't have either at the moment.
Do you have a backyard?
Yeah.
Go get a smoker or an outdoor grill. There is a shamanic journey because you cook for a family that smoking something for 6 to 12 hours, you can put a lot of mommy magic into it, a lot of prayer energy into it, and really make it a powerful, transformative shamanic journey for you, the practitioner. It lets you, let's just say, dual track or multi-think. So like I need to do a ritual, but the kids, I still need to do it. I can do it on the food for the family. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
Super magical.
Yes. Allows you to multitask. Okay. You know, and there's thousands of videos out there. You can learn how to smoke a brisket, a turkey, all sorts of stuff. Just
Yeah.
get one of those combo pellet grills all in one. Okay.
Uh-huh. I will. My husband
Okay.
will definitely say yes to that.
Okay. There's your recipe for working on yourself.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
That's so much good information.
Okay. Thanks for calling in and call back in again in a month or so. Let us know how things are going on.
I will. Have a great one.
Take it easy, darling. You have a good one.
Bye.
All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next.
Sorry about that. Muted. Spinning, spinning, spinning. Tolly, you are getting the signal to unmute.
Holly, are you there? Holly,
Sending another signal to unmute.
going once, Holly. You're running to your phone and stubbing your toe. You're screaming out, I'm
Can you hear me?
You made it.
I was like, I like messed up the passcode. I was like, no, wait. Literally as you're saying that, I'm like, he knows it. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, I talked to you a couple months ago. I have been eating more and better and paying attention to that. And then, sorry, I'm by a bunch of traffic. I'm trying to get out of the way if it's
okay.
allowed. And all this stuff started coming up, and it's not bad, it's not good, but I'm having trouble managing it. And there's these big decisions that are coming up now that I have more energy and this and that. And so it's almost like because I wasn't eating enough before, I was like pushing off these big decisions, or I wasn't conscious of them. And that's really great, actually, but it's also extremely challenging. And so let me see if I can get into it, because I'm still sort of teasing it out in my own process. But basically, it boils down to, let's see how to put this. So let me see if I can give a little context. So how I found you was through this private law guy who, I don't know how I'd say this. He's like really advanced in the whole, I guess you'd call it, sovereign movement. I know that may not be the actual term, but it goes pretty deep and all this kind of stuff, and it gets scary and all that kind of stuff. And I've been studying that stuff for about 4 years. The problem is, so I'm like on the spectrum or whatever, and so I can't read people's signals all the time. I tend to attract predators, and so I don't always trust situations I'm in and that sort of thing. And that's actually kind of what led me to studying in that vein of things. The problem is I've also been in the SSDI waiting pool because I'm autistic, and I'm coming up against all these conflicts in my mind where I'm like, I just need to, like resend all contracts, just be like, no, I don't, like I'm backing out the process. It's like a 5-6 year process.
Yeah, but listen, real quick, I went down the whole sovereign path, right? I was like part of the International Tribunal of Natural Justice founding member. I did the whole thing. You have to do it energetically. Don't do the paperwork side. The paperwork side is only going to lead you down a set of conflicts with the administrative side.
Yeah, that's exactly where I am right now, because I'm like, God, I can't be signing. I can't have an SSN, like all this stuff. I was just kind of like getting overwhelmed with it.
You do it energetically, and that's where your journey ends in the physical. But there's still stuff to learn. I mean, there is what I brought to the law and sovereignty movement was the spiritual perceptions and not the physical battle with the paperwork.
Exactly,
You need to engage in the physical battle of the paperwork. The administrative state is battling back to you, and oftentimes you get energetically attacked back.
Exactly, and I'm noticing that because I'm starting to get really paranoid for no reason, and I know it, and I'm like, I need to manage this. I need to step back. What's going on? What's real? And it's I'm freaking myself out when I know I don't need to be, kind of thing. That is helpful, and I'm aware of the whole coming in peace, coming to peace, the enemy construct, all that kind of stuff. I get it, but it's like I'm still grappling with it because I'm literally talking to judges and all this kind of stuff, and it's my autistic brain just can't handle it.
Don't do that anymore. Stop the auditing. Stop doing all of that. It is going to bring conflict to the parts of you who are not ready for a conflict.
Exactly. So I guess on a tangible level, I mean, should I stop the process? I'm pretty much
all the physical part, yes, and transition it to an energetic process of breaking the contracts with all the different aspects of what you learned about. And then when you're done with it, it's a victory ceremony. Okay. It doesn't mean you're permanently done. It just means you're done with that part of learning about dealing with the energy of the system itself. Okay?
Yes.
And then once you have a plateau of these systems not really fucking with you energetically, you will evolve your energy to a new level. And then there's a new set of contracts to get rid of because your new energy level has a new set of rules.
Okay. Yep.
And you'll break those contracts, vows, and agreements. And then you'll reach really the third plateau, which isn't the most challenging. It's just something you have to stretch out over a few years as a ritual and ceremony of raising your frequency so that new rules cannot be created on top of old rules. That's all that it is.
I see.
It's an endurance journey.
Yeah, because that's, I mean, in a way, it kind of like a, how do you say, it's like a meta process. That's kind of the whole and the small of it too. Because I'm already seeing that. I'm like, well, if I don't do this rule, then I'm going to have to learn this other rule around that. And it just gets so mind fucking. Yeah.
Mind fucked and bogged down. And unfortunately, that's what the system wants.
Yep, exactly.
And basically, the spiritual side is basically declaring you can't make rules for me in the energy realms anymore.
Yeah, because the moment I got freaked,
and then proving it through sovereignty, spiritual sovereignty.
Yeah, because I noticed, because I got denied, I'm on like the 4th year denial, which I'm actually happy about at this point. But the problem that got to me was they had this whole long thing. They transferred to this new portal like a couple months ago. They had this whole long contract that's like, we're going to survey your phone and your credit profile and stuff. I'm just like, no way. This is too, it's not even worth it. My mom's like, you need the money. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I also want myself and my peace, and I can, so anyways, so you do recommend I should back out, because even just talking to the attorney and all that is just like so overwhelming, and I'm autistic, so I don't even know what I'm saying is going to backfire.
Back out of it. And what money were you not accepting?
Well, that's the funny part, is they could take it away at any time, right? That's the funny part. Just the 13 years of back, whatever. It was going to be like I was going to set up like a rental. It was just going to be like a down payment. But now that I'm learning about everything else, it's like, well,
no. Back payment for what?
Just the waiting process. Like they back pay it to like when you originally filed, but
is it a disability?
Yeah.
You take that money.
Okay, so I should stay in the process then?
Yes, take that money.
Okay.
Do not throw it away. You take that money. You take it.
All right.
You do something with it to benefit your life.
Yeah, exactly. It just gets so intimidating because.
Don't worry about it. Once you break the energy contracts, there's no fear from it. The system works on fear. When you break its cycle of fear, the chances of them actually like listening to your phone are slim to zero. Okay.
I see. Yeah. Okay. That's helpful, because I think the issue was like all my autism stuff, because I've had situations where police think I'm weird on the street and they tell me to take off my clothes, and then they say, oh, you're fine. It's like I'm right across the street from my house, and it's like someone can just do that to me, and it's just really scary, and I don't know what to say, and so I get so paranoid and freaked out.
That's what you have to work to break as part of put yourself on a 1-year journey of breaking the paranoia and fear inside you. And you make that, you put your autism focus on that. You go, autism, I was born with it, and now I'm using it for my advantage.
Okay, yeah, that's what I've been trying to do the past month or so. I'm like, okay, I just need to harness what I do know about what I can do, and just do. And if I fuck up, then that's it. Like, then I just keep going. And so
part of growing is fucking up. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So on my website, there's a product called the Basics Bootcamp, all in one place. There's 2 parts to it. You can take a look at that, where it gives you all the basic rituals, ceremonies, inner practice, outer practice, meditations, things to do. That would be a great thing for you to get as the first part of the product. And the second one, if you want to go advance more into it.
Okay. All right. That's helpful. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Give you a step-by-step instruction of what are the basics you got to master.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay,
And then
great. Thank you.
the goal is, can you do 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week? That's C plus effort. Okay. And if you can do 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, that's B plus effort. 90 minutes a day, 6 days a week is A plus effort. But you measure effort monthly, not daily. So you got
Okay.
to be able to willing to journal about the work you're doing, 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there, and what it actually does for you. So at the end of the month, you look back and go, all right, so I averaged a C, or this week, this month, I averaged a B. Okay. And you look at your average. All right. I'm advancing myself. And there'll some be months where you're not even at the C because of life's challenges. But part of that daily practice discipline is using autism to your advantage. Okay.
I like that. Yes, that's
Yeah.
excellent. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
The goal is reducing paranoia, reducing fear, and opening up to self-healing, self-nurturing, and the master of that, mastery of self-healing and self-nurturing. And that overarching is learning how to love yourself again to brand new levels and new forms of self-loving experience that will help break the negative side of autism and open it up to new positive perception.
That's so hard to imagine. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah. That's what love can do. It can transform things and transmute things.
Okay. That's a good next goal for me. Really.
What are you
Okay.
working at all?
I do, but I don't succeed at it. Let's just say that. It's really hard for me to work around other people and in like sensory environments, and that's actually the whole disability thing. But when I'm by myself, I can control my environment. There's so many things I love to do and want to do, and that's the challenge. Is like
what?
I used to record music. I did that for like 20 years. I just endless. I could do that all day long. But the problem
Do you
is,
sing?
oh yeah, I did all of it. Wrote everything, recorded all the instruments, all that stuff. But I got so into survival mode, I like kind of, I don't want to say I lost it. It's there somewhere, but my brain has to mask so much now to get through and so it feels like it's gone. I know that it's not, but
Do you have any physical musical instruments you play?
I do. The problem is when I start to play it, all the trauma comes up. I go into freeze, and then I forget everything, like numb out, freeze. Where it used to be my best, deepest connection to myself, now it's just like a trauma.
So if you're numbing out and freezing when you're playing a physical instrument, there's a serious central nervous system cascade block going on. A cascade meaning it affects your whole system and shuts it down. This means you need to get body work done on yourself.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saving up for the roll thing. It might take me a while.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If you're in a situation where you're saving up, what you can do is go on Amazon and find one of those massage pads that fits over a chair. You ever seen those?
Oh, no, but I think I can kind of imagine what you're talking about. I know something like that exists.
Yeah, so you can start by using that. You can also invest into something called a Rumblex, Rumblex. It's a vibration plate that you stand on, and it goes through like 10,000 RPMs of vibration that shake up the body and help break up the fascia. It's about
Oh, okay.
$250. That can be a temporary thing until you can save up more for the roll thing, but it will be something better than no body work at all.
Okay.
Okay, you could also buy a massage gun and start grinding the shit out of your thighs, your calves, your ankles, your lower back, okay, wherever you can reach with it. Okay.
Okay.
Have you ever done yoga? Have you ever done yoga?
I think I did a little bit of it. I've done like other kinds of massage and things like that, but what happens is my body reacts and gets more stiff. Maybe that's a natural reaction. I don't know. It's like a weird.
That's actually a body defense system from you stopping. It's a self-defeating process.
Yeah, and so I like can't go to a masseuse anymore because it's like worse when I leave. I'm so stiff and like.
That's because your body is so stiff too. You've reached a
Yeah.
point. If you don't do something about the body's going to come highly acidic, really bad.
Yeah.
In fact, I would say it's already reached that level.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's really just loosening them. I mean, just getting the
No,
muscles looser.
it's getting the stagnant electrical energy of trauma out of the body.
Okay. Okay.
Put it this way. To remain at that level of tightness where you're at is 50% of your daily energy is used up. Just keeping your body level of tension.
Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay? So
Wow,
you
that's
got
interesting.
this time of developing the spirit is developing the body, because a lot of your trauma is just kicking you out of the body. And what I say over and over again, we are meant to be in our body, in this world, with our 2 feet and our spirit inside our feet. We need to be here now. So you need to incorporate the body's healing journey into your spiritual healing journey.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay?
Yeah, a lot of it too. I have been able to relax, but it's so
You're
I have
not
to sit
really
up.
listen, you're not really relaxing.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
No, you're not. Even when you think you're relaxing, you're not really relaxed. With a body that tight, it's impossible to actually relax.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And you will only know it once a lot of that the knots on top of knots on top of knots on top of knots are taken care of, and you actually experience zero state body rest, which is a
So do you
normal state.
recommend that as like an ongoing thing? Just because, I mean, even just being in
So you
society,
can get
it's
the
just
roll thing done. So you can get that roll thing done, where because that roll thing is going to break the entire body, all that stuff down. But
okay.
until then, you need to do something else until that process. Okay?
Okay. All right. I'll look into that. Matt, what's called roll. I have the recording. I'll just go back and listen to it.
Rumblix, and then you are going to want to get the massage thing that fits over a chair.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll try both those things. Thank you.
Any relationships going on?
Oh gosh, that's a whole minefield. There was a guy I actually, I mean, I deeply loved him. I still do. There's just a lot of issues there. He's severely avoidant, and it didn't kick in until a little too late. I would have liked to learn that a little bit earlier so I could have protected myself. I might try to go back and renegotiate with him because he said it wasn't over, but then he's nowhere to be found. So I really don't know.
You said he was avoidant?
Yeah, like avoidant attachment, I guess.
Okay. So he didn't want to. I understand. And now he's just disappeared?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, I guess I could check back in with him. He might respond, but he might not. I don't know. It's kind of give or take. He's also autistic. I'm almost 100% positive.
Does he
But
work?
yeah, he does. Yep. Uh-huh.
What kind of work does he do?
He takes care of animals, you know. He's obsessed with cats, so he's not a social person at all. It's pure animal. And which is fine. It's just
All right, I'm gonna say something to you that's intended to get a mental, physical, and spiritual response out of you.
okay.
If you were to go back to school, could you go for veterinary medicine?
Me?
Yeah, become a vet.
You know, I don't, I mean, I didn't really think about that. I worked with pets for a few years. That's actually when my trauma started, and I completely disconnected from the animals at that time. It was really strange. I used to love animals before that. I mean, I still do, like in theory, but I just don't connect anymore as much.
Yeah, because you've had so many emotional traumas that you haven't dealt with.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave that as a seed. I'm gonna leave that as a seed in you. Part of your mission this lifetime was to take up veterinary medicine and to be a healer for those animals in pain that needed a healer that can communicate to them. You have a very powerful inner animal communicator to you. And to me, it's crying in the background that you're not even trying.
Wow, that's so bizarre, because I would have said that was like my ex's whole thing, because he says he's an animal whisperer.
No, this is you. You've just suppressed it your whole lifetime.
Oh, bizarre. Okay.
Whole lifetime, it's
okay.
just been
Well, I have to
suppressed.
think about that. because
That's
I
just a
had no
seed.
idea.
It's just a seed. Water it every couple months and see what it does. That's all you got to do. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I thought about going back to school for like teaching other people about autism, like in higher, in more academic ways and blah blah blah. But I'm like, well, that's a
You can
complicated.
barely handle people now. You won't be able to be
Yeah.
a teacher.
Yeah,
Be
exactly.
brutally honest with yourself. You can barely handle people now.
Yeah, I don't think I could. Well, if I was in a veterinary clinic, I could. I don't think I could handle the blood and the emergency, all
Yes,
that kind of.
yes, you could.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I can't even look at roadkill on the road. It's so bad.
Trust me, when you invest into spirit, it will invest back into you, and it'll give you coping skills and communication with the animal that says, "Help me," and it says, "Thank you for doing that. I'm out of pain." And all
Oh,
the blood guts
interesting.
and horseshit will just disappear inside you.
Well, I'll think about that. That's the last thing I would have thought, but okay.
It's because it's been
That's so
suppressed.
interesting.
It's
Okay.
been suppressed. And as I said, I brought it up to get an emotional trigger and response out of you because I see it as a suppressed spiritual talent.
Interesting. Okay. Hmm. Huh. Okay. I never would have expected that, but I'll keep that as a seed, as you say.
Okay.
Okay.
Um, are you living by yourself?
No, I live with family.
How many people are in the house?
Uh, all three of us. It's just three of us, with me included.
Is everybody not working and everybody's there all the time?
Um. Well, everyone works from home pretty much.
So they,
I leave the house.
everyone is home all the time.
Well, it feels that way. One of the my mom's boyfriend, he works out, but he's also has like 4 weeks where he stays home or every now and then, so it's really crowded. Yeah.
What are you doing to get away from that energy to just open up the inner space in you?
I just overwork and escape, which I don't want to do, but I kind of
What do
do
you
it.
do? What is your work?
I do like commercial auditing, I guess. It's like loss prevention. I just go to different businesses and I just pretend I'm a customer, and then I write up a whole thing on like how the employee treated me. Yeah.
And how many hours a week are you doing that?
Quite a lot. I mean, the thing is, it gives me freedom because I get really sick at the end of the month, so then I just don't have to show up anywhere if I don't want to.
So
It's by no, yeah,
how much pay does it bring you?
quite a lot actually.
So what's your monthly income?
It really varies. It can be like pretty much nothing, or it can be like it's really low. It's not survival money. I'll say that. Um,
Okay,
Definitely not.
is it under $1,000 a month?
Uh, High end would be a little bit above that, yeah, but it's usually not. It's usually around that. So,
How much are your expenses?
I don't have any expenses really except for gas and
Okay.
a couple things here and there. Yeah.
All right. So you really do have the money for a raw thing if you put your mind to it.
Exactly. I just need to be like 1 or 2 months, just bam, bam, and then just yeah.
Uh-huh. Or
Yep.
just be more consistent and just say,
Yeah.
I'm going to work 3 days a week no matter what. So at the end of the month, there's this much money there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yep.
And it
I just
doesn't
gotta
have to
do
be
it.
3 days in a row. It can be whenever the fuck you want, right?
Yeah. Sometimes I just stack it, but I just have to make sure I don't burn out if I just stack it. But I can
Okay?
when I get
So
lucky. Yeah.
get more consistent so more regular funds are coming in. Okay?
Yeah.
Um,
I just know I won't surpass like a certain amount to. Well, I don't
that's
have to worry about that right now.
that's fine. The point is you need liquid money to spend on yourself as part of your healing journey. Okay?
Yeah, it's true. Yep.
That's what it comes down to. Okay, the role thing is one thing, and then you're gonna get to a point where you realize the Rumblix, go take yoga lessons, actual go to a class and really learn it. Okay, and I would suggest that if you put your autistic effort into learning it, you could actually teach a class for yoga for autistic people. Okay,
Yeah.
take a yoga teacher training class. You got to give yourself purpose.
I have purpose, but it's all towards trying to do specific things that
You
that
don't
may,
have the emotional coping skills to do those things that you want to do, though.
yeah, and that's what's really stressful
Which
because I
is
don't
the
have the
illusion,
drive to do the other things.
which is the illusion that you have purpose.
Okay.
You don't actually have purpose if you don't have the emotional skills to actually do them. Therefore, you got to give yourself something that you have the emotional skills to do. You can go to a yoga class and be around 6 or 7 people twice a week for a few months and then practice the shit out of it while you're home and then go take a yoga teacher training class a year from starting. Okay? You can do all that.
It just feels so wrong though. I know it's not wrong in theory, but part of me is like, yeah, they'll take away from the music and the this and
But the
that
music's
and
not
the
doing anything. You just said the music's not doing anything for you anymore. You can't even pick up an instrument and
well,
play without your body shutting down. You see the
well, I
inconsistency?
can, but I can, but it's heavily environmental.
Which
Like
means
it's like a state, like an environment thing.
which means you are not getting the return on investment that it used to give you. Meaning you put an
Yeah,
hour's worth of energy,
right
it doesn't
now.
give you 10 hours of energy back. Okay? It used to be you put an hour and you get 10 hours of energy back. You put an hour in, now you lose an hour.
Yeah, because the survival fears overrun it. So it's like I can't do this sustainably. That's
Sure,
what kicks in.
but you're also afraid of taking any of your existing music and trying to monetize it.
I did actually try to do that in the past, and I got freaked out, and it got too scary, and I could
Gave
try
up.
again. I have better systems. That
No,
was like 15 years ago.
no. You're not ready for that emotionally.
Yeah.
You're not emotionally ready for that, which is about building yourself to be emotionally ready for bigger things. That's why the role thing, that's why the eating, all these things that I said are so vital a part of the journey, part of the journey that you're in. You
Okay,
gotta
I
build
see.
up that strength, and you have to learn how to make autism work to your advantage and not disadvantage.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Well, I think I also need to unprogram if I do music, SSDI would cut me off because when you have to be visible, right?
No,
And
you don't need to be you. You can pick up a stage name. No one will ever fucking know.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I do have a stage name, but yeah, that's a good point. I'd have to like not tell anyone my name. That's funny. But yeah.
It's never going to figure it out unless you become a superstar. And at that point, you've got fuck you money.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually factual. Yep. Okay. That gives me something to work towards
Yes.
with the role thing and everything though. Okay.
Okay. Do you ever go out and do karaoke?
Oh yeah, I've done that. But the funny thing is, sorry, autism right here. The funny thing about karaoke is the way they actually tune down the original song like to a flat note so that people sing the original version from what they remember. But the karaoke makes it sound so out of tune because it's supposed to be like a funny thing where you laugh at your friends trying to sing. They actually deliberately do. So of course I have no problem doing that. It's just funny because then you have to kind of mentally adjust and
Okay.
anyways.
What city are you living in?
I am in. It's called Salem. It's in Oregon.
Oh, okay. I remember where you're at.
Yeah.
Do you do any outdoor stuff?
Yeah, I'm outside right now. I walk a lot, just to feel normal. I don't know. Maybe that's
No,
a common or uncommon.
it's the way you get out of the static energy in the house.
Yeah, that too, for sure,
Right.
for sure.
I'm going to give you another challenging statement seed to work with.
Okay.
Now, I have read your Akashic energies, and there are certain skill sets that are inside you that you were born this lifetime that if you were ever to put minimal effort to learn to like, you would become a very, very good at. And that is fishing. You have been a master fisherman thousands of lifetimes, and you had some of the most amazing and grandiose lifetimes. You fed whole villages that were starving in famine by going to a river, talking to the river, and it giving you 50 fish in a day.
Oh my goodness. I'm right next to a whole marsh. That's kind of funny.
You can
Wow.
go and buy a rod and a reel for dirt cheap on Amazon, learn how to fish off of YouTube. I'm telling you, and you're in an area, the salmon and the coho and the trout run absolutely everywhere. Okay?
Okay.
Okay?
That actually sounds interesting to me. So maybe I will.
Learn, you
Yeah.
can start as a catch and release, or you can catch and cook. Okay?
Okay.
And I'm
Okay.
absolutely dead serious when I'm telling you, you put minimal amount of effort to learn to like it, it will repay you with, I can't even begin to describe the energies that will come into you because you went back to something that so many other lifetimes rescued you from famine, rescued you from death. Okay? Rescued whole villages from death.
Wow. Okay.
It's such a powerful skill in you that you should be doing it.
That's so interesting. Okay.
Okay?
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll try that out and I'll come. The thing is I don't like going on boats, but
You
I
don't
guess I'd
have
have
to.
to get over that.
You got rivers everywhere.
I know I'm close to water all the time. It's funny.
Just hike to a river or drive to a river, get out, put a chair up, throw the line in the water.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I don't need to even go on a boat.
You don't need
Yeah,
to go
that's
on
a
a
good
boat.
point.
You're
Okay.
in river country. Okay? The fish
You're
come to
right.
you. Okay?
Interesting. Okay, yeah, I'll try that out.
You're
Thank
right
you.
where all the salmon spawn.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think? That's
Maybe that's
just a coincidence?
no, that's probably why I was born here. That's so
Right.
bizarre. Like there's literally a marsh in my backyard as a baby. Like that house had a
Okay?
whole creek.
That marsh was a salmon breeding ground, a coho salmon and trout breeding ground.
Interesting. Okay. Wow. Okay. That's funny because I asked myself, because sometimes I do little random, like, why would I be born in Oregon to these parents, blah, blah, blah. That actually kind of answers some of it, I guess, in a funny way.
And the
Okay.
other thing about fishing, you're going to find fishing holes that have magic energy in them. And I mean magic, which will help your spiritual journey. Okay? Get you out of
Okay.
the house. It allows you to do your spiritual practices and meditation. I can't tell you how many times I've been fishing and I'm halfway through a meditation and the fish is biting the line. Okay?
Oh, okay.
And it's a gift. And I see it as a gift from spirit. Same for you, a gift from spirit.
Yeah, I'll try that out. That sounds, it's calm and relaxing. I like that aspect of it. Okay.
Hi, darling. I got to let you go and move on to the next caller. Thanks for
Oh,
calling in here.
definitely. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. All right, Joel, let's spin up the wheel of callers and see who is next. Joel, you're muted.
0 for 2. Let's see here. Carly, signal to unmute.
Carly, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, Carly. Yes, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Moore, Oklahoma.
Welcome to the show. Did we talk recently?
No, we haven't ever talked before, but I've wanted to call in for a long time, so here I am.
First time caller. Ding a ding, ring ring ring. What do you want to talk about today?
So I actually have a two-part question. It's kind of both related to health. I just had a major surgery. I had an open myomectomy, which was for uterine fibroids. So they cut my stomach open basically and took the fibroids out. And I also pull my hair out a lot and pick at my skin. And I'm just wondering how to kind of what I can do to kind of prevent the fibroids from coming back in the future, and what's going on with the hair pulling.
All right. So when did the hair pulling start?
When I was 14, it started, but I stopped for 10 years. And then I started again at 24 and I'm 32 now.
And when it started again, what was going on in your life?
I really don't remember. it was a kind of stressful time in my life. I think I had just started like shadow work and kind of like doing a lot of healing work. So I think that may have stirred up some
Who did you learn shadow work from?
Teal Swan.
Okay. I'm gonna be blunt. Teal teaches a form of shadow work that is not for everyone.
Hmm.
Period. This is not a knock on her teaching. It's just a knock on the people practicing it who shouldn't be practicing it.
Hmm.
You are one of those.
Okay.
You had a ghost when you were young, and that's where the hair pulling comes from.
Hmm.
It imprinted on you so much that it became a subconscious thing that you're doing when weird spiritual energies are generated by you that you don't deal with. So, what are you in denial about in your life? What are the hidden traumas that you know are there that you're just avoiding?
Hmm.
Because there's something building up in you, which is causing the energy of hair pulling, which is an energy imprinted onto you when you were harvested as a younger child.
Okay.
What happened?
I'm not sure. I do feel like I remember a ghost when I was like 4.
No. What happened in general life? How many breakups and betrayals have you had? Okay. How many shitty people ruined your life? How many times did you ruin your own life?
A lot.
Okay. What were the main things you did to ruin your life? You and you alone. Don't know external blame. Because you're not forgiving yourself of that. And that's why you're hair pulling.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No, that makes sense. I feel like I definitely have done a lot of like isolating to kind of punish other people.
Okay. Your fibroids are a direct result of not dealing with that energy.
Hmm.
Yeah. It imprinted right into the uterine, right into the ovaries, right into that area, because you are disrespecting the true divine feminine in you by not dealing with these traumas
Hmm.
and accepting a negative frequency as your core being, even though you are not a negative being in your core. It's creating a schism in you.
Hmm.
Can I ask
feel that.
what was your main thing you did to screw yourself up?
I feel like it's a lot of negativity,
Okay. Like what?
just like internal kind of self-talk.
Okay. So you have these long conversations. I'm going to tell Jane this cunt. She's never going to step on my thing. She's never going to. It's all about some arguing with somebody in your head.
Yeah, kind of. Like I'll tell myself stories or, kind of go down a negative spiral.
Okay. That's what the hair pulling has created in you. That energy. You've done it so much that it's you are haunting yourself.
Hmm.
Yeah. Do you still do it?
Yeah.
How often?
Every day. It depends on if I've had, I know like caffeine makes it worse, so I'm trying to stop drinking as much caffeine.
What kind of job do you do?
I work in a call center.
So is it sales or is it customer service?
It's customer service for a luxury brand, so it's their financial center. So it's not like it's dealing with a
So
lot of people's.
okay, it's you're not dealing with super angry cable customers who want to piss on you.
Not really, yeah, no, not compared to some call centers, but there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of frustration.
Okay, is the job paying good?
It pays okay.
Okay, do you have any extra funds left over?
Like after bills and stuff, yeah, I do.
Do you have enough to invest into a process for yourself?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a recipe.
Mhm.
The very first thing you need to do is look at the time that you go to work and the time that you come home. What time do you start?
9:30,
Okay, what time do you go to sleep at night?
around 10,
Okay,
11.
do you fall asleep fast or do you go through a mind talk until you fall asleep?
I fall asleep pretty fast.
Okay, do you wake up at all in the middle of the night or is it all the way until you get up?
No, I'm usually a pretty deep sleeper.
Okay. Any nightmares or weird dreams?
I always have weird dreams, but not really nightmares.
That So this the first part of the recipe is when you wake up in the morning. If you have a dream you remember, just grab your phone and talk it out instead of writing it. Okay. And if you don't remember a dream, what you're going to do when you wake up is you got to what's called plan your day. So those first 10 minutes before you get out of your bed, you just say out loud, room, thank you for a good night of sleep. Today, I'm going to get dressed. I'm going to look good. I'm going to get myself ready, have a good breakfast. I'm going to drive to work. No one's going to cut me off. I'm going to sit down at my desk and I'm going to have a great set of callers. When work is done, I'm going to come home, throw off the clothes, put on something comfortable, and just enjoy life. Okay?
I love
That's
that.
the general theme, what you want to do when you wake up in the morning. And then after a while of doing it, you're going to be more specific. Today, I'm not going to argue with myself in my head. And the future me that wants to argue with myself, the morning that just got up, it's got the most power. I'm focusing on you in this afternoon or this evening when you're going to start this brain talk and you're going to shut it down and you're going to do something fun. You're going to pick up a book. You're going to pick up something that's going to give you a frown to a smile. Okay? I'm going to put on a raunchy ass stand up comedian that you force yourself to listen to and laugh instead of being in your head.
Mhm.
You can pick up a coloring book. You can pick up all sorts of different artistic things to stop the brain talk.
Okay.
Second thing, you're going to need body work, similar to the previous caller.
Mhm.
You are going to need to invest money into a body worker and not an energy worker, an actual body worker. Okay. Where do you live at?
Moore, Oklahoma.
How big's the town?
It's right by Oklahoma City, so I think we have a few
You
places
have,
that.
you have everything if you're right in Oklahoma City.
Mhm.
All right. So what I want you to do is to find somebody that does myofascial release or rolfing. Are you on your phone or are you on a computer?
I'm on a computer.
So open up a search engine real quick and type in rolfing, ROLFING near me with your zip code. And tell me what you see.
Okay. Yes, I have several around here.
Okay. Pick one. Okay.
Mhm.
And you're going to go to them and just say, I do a call center job. I've had emotional challenges in my life, and I have a very tough body that I need to get these knots out of. A
Okay.
lot of it's emotional challenging. That's all you need to say to them.
Okay.
Be blunt and upfront. It will be painful.
Mhm.
They're going to do what's called a 10 series. They're going to do 10 sessions, and they're going to target every part of your body, and you will scream and scream and scream. But at the end of it, it'll be like, holy fuck, you got something out of me.
Okay.
And this is how you're going to begin the journey of de-haunting your own self. Okay? You're going to have emotional stuff afterward comes up. You may feel teary for a day or two, sometimes 3 to 4 days afterwards. And what that is the body going through the journey of rejecting and accepting the healing nature of the body. Okay?
Mhm.
The next thing is, what's your diet like? And the reality of your diet, not your illusion of it.
Oh yeah, no. So I eat whatever is easiest for me to like throw into like a pan and cook. So I
How
eat a lot of
many,
potatoes. What?
how many meals do you skip? And be honest.
I eat 2 meals a day, but they're really big, and then I snack in between.
Okay. How many meals do you skip? And be honest. How many times you don't eat 2 meals a day?
Um, Probably once or twice, like 3 days a week.
So 3 days a week you skip a meal and you're down to 1 meal a day.
Mm-hmm.
That means you are protein deficient.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. People at starvation camps have more protein than you. That's what that
Mm-hmm.
really means. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're giving yourself garbage snacks to replace it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You need to begin counting your food and your meals. This is not about a diet. This is about you having a reality check to how skipping meals causes you to go into the depressive state of mind fucking yourself. Lack of food is a trigger to that. You and food are emotionally bonded together. And if you start tracking your food and realizing, I skipped a meal today and I skipped a meal yesterday, oh, look, my mind's fucking me today.
Mhm.
You will see that pattern, how food is related to the mind fuck going on inside you. Okay? Again, you're not dieting, you're counting your food. And once you begin to realize what skipping meals does for you, you'll stop skipping them and reduce the power of the mind fuck by at least 50%.
Okay.
Okay? Do you smoke cannabis?
No, I don't.
Have you ever smoked cannabis before?
Yeah, I used to a lot in my like 20s and teens.
Okay. And what was the reason you stopped?
It just made me super paranoid.
Did you have cocaine at the same time?
Yeah.
A lot of cocaine?
No, not a lot. I mean, when I did it, I would do it a lot, but I didn't do cocaine often. I used
But
to
you did
party
a
a
lot, but you did a lot when you did it.
Yeah.
Okay. So your cocaine is what's created the paranoia inside you. And anytime you're smoking cannabis, your emotional instability is coming forward, even though cannabis is a more emotional, a balancing process.
Mhm.
Okay. Did you hear me talk about the first caller with the cannabis bath?
Yeah, I did.
That would be very good for you. You will not test positive with it, and you will not get a mental high out of it. You will get a deep body relaxation, and your body needs deep relaxation right now. Okay.
Yeah.
You have knots on top of knots on top of knots that have knots on top of knots. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's not normal.
Mhm.
Okay. And it's why you're pulling your hair.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the next thing is, you having any vision issues going on, blurry vision?
No, I don't have blurry vision, but I do wear glasses.
What's the stigma?
I'm not sure.
Is it short-sighted, far-sighted?
Oh, I think it's like I can see things up close, but not far away.
Okay. And when you take your glasses off, is in your house, what's it like?
It's pretty blurry.
Pretty blurry.
Hmm.
How far is your sight when you're inside your house? Length of your arm, longer?
Um, it's clear, like half my arm.
Wow. All right. So this is a thing for you to try once or twice a week.
Hmm.
Get into your space, light one candle that's 4 or 5 feet away from you, clear out a space in front of you, like a couch, but clear out anything that's in front of you. Turn out all the lights. Stand up and walk to and from the candle with all the lights out. And let your blurry be blurry. And after doing this for 3 to 4 minutes of walking around in the dark, stop the candle, sit down, and watch how your eyes adjust to the darkness. Do not be afraid. Your eyes will go from blurry to unblurry. It'll look like things are there. Spots and lights will appear, and that's natural auric energy. Okay?
Hmm.
When I scan you, you have an energy coming off you separate of the traumas of life that's been in you that says you have your aura. Okay? And light up a dark room. Don't be afraid of that. Okay? Don't be afraid of it. It's one of the reasons a ghost was attracted to you at a young age.
Mhm.
And let yourself do training to see light in darkness. And I need you to make me a promise. Cross your heart. No more shadow work.
Okay.
You need to do light work. You need to generate light inside yourself. You need to create guided visualization when those lights are off, that you have a tower of light coming down and glowing inside you. Okay? You need to do the empowerment side.
For
Okay?
sure. I love that. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay? Positive mental reinforcement of light. into every cellular structure, the spaces between all of your cells. Flood yourself with light. And make that a practice. Like I said, you turn the lights off, you walk around a little bit, you sit down, let your eyes tune, and then let yourself create light, and your eyes will show it to you. Okay? And once you have a moment, oh my God, my aura is lighting up a dark room, you might begin the journey of repairing your faith.
Okay.
Because you do have broken faith.
Mhm.
The world broke you. Guess what? The world breaks everyone. Now you got to put yourself back together. Okay? But you're not so broken you ended up in a mental hospital. You're not so broken that you can't have a job. Okay?
Mhm.
You're okay. Yeah, you're broken. Guess what? Everyone is. Fix yourself now. Put the next 6 months of your life, that is, I'm doing the light work.
Mhm.
I'm doing the body repair work. I'm counting my protein, 40 grams of protein every day. Okay? It's not about a diet. It's about you watching the cycle of how skipping meals fucks with you. Okay? Break that cycle so that hair pulling goes away. Get your energy back. Get your libido back too.
Mhm.
Because that's something else that's going on. You're wondering what happened to the woman inside me. What happened to her?
A lot.
Yeah. Think it's time to heal from it?
Yeah. I also worked, like the other caller, I also worked as a stripper for a long time, like in sex work.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it a little bit?
I feel like it did have like it had both a positive and a negative impact on me. Like it showed me a lot about myself, and then there was also like obviously the reality of the industry is really dark.
Okay. I understand it. I've had many people in the stripping field, the sex work field, and the porn field call me. And I tell every single one of them, you absolutely can fix yourself. You just need to put aside a dedicated time. You start with the body work, you start with organizing the food, and you start with working with light.
Okay.
Okay? You got to do the basics.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? How long were you a stripper for?
8 years,
And how old were you started?
20.
Did you jump into the sex work right away, or did
Yeah.
you toy with it?
No, I jumped in right away.
Okay. Did you make a lot of money?
I did okay.
What's okay?
I was making on average like $3,000 to $6,000 a month.
Okay, you were doing good.
Mhm.
You're doing good. But yes, you could have made more, but you still made a significant amount of money.
Mhm.
Was that in Oklahoma?
Yeah, and online.
Okay. When did you stop doing it?
2021.
And what caused you to stop doing it?
It just wasn't sustainable anymore
Okay.
for like my energy. I just felt like it was just not what I wanted to do with my life.
Okay. How long before you had a regular job?
About a year.
And in that year, how hard was it?
Like emotionally,
Yeah.
it was pretty difficult.
And then when you had a job, did it ease up?
It helped me feel more confident
Okay.
that I could do like a 9 to 5 job.
Okay. All right. So you didn't give up on yourself and you didn't quit, is what that means.
Mhm.
Okay. It means you got a fighter inside you. And you got to embrace that fighter. Okay. I said before you have a libido issue going on.
Mhm.
Okay. When's the last time you had normal intercourse with somebody that wasn't through stripping?
When I was 25.
Okay. So you've never had, since it's been a long time, is what
Yeah.
you're saying.
Mhm.
Are you ready to have more or not? It's okay if you're not.
I think I am actually. I feel like the surgery was kind of like a stepping stone for that. And I do feel like I want that now.
I'm going to say for the next couple months, you got to just agree to be celibate with a partner. You're not going to have any partners.
Mhm.
But it's time for you to start exploring yourself privately.
Mhm.
Okay? When you were doing it online, did you use a lot of toys, or did they ask you to use a lot of toys?
Yeah.
Does that make you sick or feel icky now?
No, it doesn't. I like it.
All right. I would like for you to find the toys that you liked. Set yourself up like you were going to be online, but there's no cameras, no nothing. Okay? And pull out a couple dollars from your own wallet and pay yourself. Okay? This may seem weird. Pay yourself. Okay? And this is going to way to help you go, you know what? I don't want my money. I don't want somebody else's money. I'm rejecting this payment and now making it private. Okay? How often was money left on the table after an engagement? How often was money left for a service? Sex was transactional for you.
Mhm.
You have to stop breaking the transactional process and say, no, put that money away. I'm doing it because I'm relearning how to love my body, my mind, my spirit as a divine feminine who's re-engaging her libido to have experiences that are not transactional with dollars.
Mhm.
Spirit to spirit is what I want. Okay?
Mhm.
You're going to have to give yourself several times a month doing that. Okay?
Okay.
Were there any other drugs other than the cocaine?
Um,
Ecstasy?
yeah, MDMA, but that was in my early 20s. Just
Did you
mostly
do
coke, weed,
did you do
alcohol.
yeah, did you do a lot of ecstasy?
No, just
No.
but I did it enough that it was like it made an impact. Oh, a lot of acid. I did a lot of acid and mushrooms.
Like, what's a lot of acid?
Um, I would probably do it a couple times a month with my friends for a few years.
Did you ever do it while you were stripping live at the club?
No, I microdosed. There was like a month when I microdosed every single day, and I would work during that. But no.
That's still fucking with you.
Okay.
Okay. How bad was the alcohol?
Really bad. I would black out most of the time.
4 nights, 5 nights a week?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So I'm going to refine part of my recipe for you. You're going to find the Rolfing person, and you're going to do the 10 series, and you're going to ask them if you can do twice a week. So if you do a Monday and a Friday, or a Tuesday and a Friday, if they say no, it's okay. You need more work than a normal person that's dealing with emotional issues. Have you ever done a flotation tank?
No, I haven't, but I know that we have them here.
All right. So what I want you to do is go and do a float and understand what a float does is 1 hour in the float is equivalent to 8 hours of deep sleep.
Okay.
And when you learn to use the float, you can enter that state where you're asleep and awake at the same time. You're in the waking dream.
Mhm.
And you need to regenerate the blackouts that you went through. Every time you were blacked out, something was harvesting your spirit. Something was.
Mhm.
And the float is a great way to neutralize a lot of the blackouts. A lot of people in AA recovery end up doing floats for that exact reason. Okay? And you can begin doing spiritual work inside the float that says every time that I drunk and got to a state of blackout and went into the dream world with any unawareness, I am now on the edge of the dream world. And I'm healing this trauma I did to myself out of ignorance. Body that is in this float with me, I feel you full of light, and I naturally transition you to the dream world for a positive, regenerative experience, so I may bring back the parts of me that were lost to the blackout in the dream world. Okay? And that's something you're going to repeat several times in the float until you fall asleep. And you might wake up 10 minutes later, you might wake up 5 minutes later, you might wake up an hour later. But if you start that journey with those types of statements, you will begin doing some soul shard recovery, natural soul shard recovery on yourself because of the blackouts. And I recommend you try doing, after you've done the first few floats, try doing 2 a week. Okay? You can do more, but try doing 2 a week and maintaining that for as long as you can. If there's a week you skip one, that's okay, but just try to maintain 2 a week. How much of your clothing is left from the dancing part of your life?
I still have quite a bit, probably half my wardrobe.
Okay. How does that make you feel when you see it?
I've been thinking about getting rid of it and getting new. Like, I've been slowly kind of replacing my wardrobe. It's so funny that you say that, because that's something that I've been wanting to just kind of replace.
All right. So another aspect to the recipe of wellness is go into the wardrobe, into the closet, and find the stuff that you as a stripper felt really good in, but might feel weird about now. Okay? Pick out the top 3, and then once a week, you're going to do a ritual where you're going to go back and wear those clothes and feel the stripper you and forgive yourself. It is so vital that you forgive the energy of that energy inside you with the clothing on, so you have the visceral feeling of what she was like then. And the adult you now who's going through the journey, I forgive you. I forgive you of your ignorance. I forgive you of the trauma you did. I forgive you of the drinking. I forgive you for everything because I love you. Until tears come down your eyes. Forgive, 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 forgive. Okay? And if you feel like getting rid of the clothes at the end, that's fine. But forgive. It's the vital part to it. Okay? You can also do the forgiving without the clothes, but right now you need it as a trigger to remind you of the volume of shit you did to yourself.
Yeah.
And you gotta start somewhere. And forgiveness is that journey. Combined with the roll thing and the float tanks and the eating again, you give yourself a powerful recipe at healing and changing.
Thank you.
Okay? Let me pry just a little deeper. Did you want to have children?
No.
No with tears or no with a firm energy?
No, I've never wanted to have kids.
Okay. Why?
I just have never wanted the responsibility of it, and it's not
Fair enough.
that I've ever dreamed about.
Okay. Did you ever have other dreams about your life that you wanted to do?
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, I wanted to be an actress when I was a kid, but I think that was I just like wanted attention because I realized I didn't really want that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I've wanted, but that's
What
never
else
really
did you want to
happened.
do? What else did you ever want to do? What other things did you want to do?
So I feel like with the when that acting dream died, I just kind of gave up.
Okay. How old were you when the acting dream died?
18.
How fast did you become a stripper?
Like a couple years after that.
All right. Why did the dream die?
I had realized that I had lived in, it was kind of like a fantasy where I thought things were going to happen a certain way and they didn't.
Okay. So the fantasy world broke down and the reality of life hit you.
hmm
And then a year or two later, you were stripping.
hmm
All right. Did you ever do anything artistic when you were younger?
Yeah, I paint and I draw and I write and I still do all those things.
What kind of painting?
Acrylic and oil, watercolor, all of it.
What kind of designs do you do when you paint?
Well, I do all kinds. So I like abstract and I also like impressionist, um, realism, everything.
Do you have any pictures from when you were a stripper that you still have hanging around?
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. I want you to grab some of them and do some real drawing of your body when you were that being and draw and paint it and say, I love you. I forgive you. I heal you. You are me. I look at what was the negative there, but I see the survivor in you. And I am this survivor today, drawing you to send survivor energy to my past so you don't give up.
Mm.
Never quit, girl. Okay?
Mhm.
Turn that pain into healing. Really draw your body in its most beautiful state and love it. Okay? It'll go a long way to taking up the toxicity of the sex worker abused energy. Okay? It'll allow you to feel sacred again instead of used.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you.
You ever do any work with clay?
I have before, and I really liked it. I haven't in a long time though.
What kind of work with clay did you do?
I just made like little like trinkets. It was in an art class,
Okay.
and we got to make like cool little knickknacks and like cups and stuff.
It would be a really good idea for you to find a clay class in your area and go and do it. And then add that as another art skill for you to paint on
Mhm.
or to just do clay. You know, trinkets, whatever it is that you're going to make. You can go buy yourself a clay turning wheel. They're not expensive. Having another form of art to do beyond just the painting can really bring some new creative energies inside you.
Mhm.
And it's really vital that you have creative energies that are entertaining for you.
Yeah.
And what do you do for entertainment itself?
I like to read. Sometimes I'll play games. I like to go out and in nature and stuff.
What games do you play?
I like role-playing games like Dragon Age and games like that.
You ever play online games?
Um, it's been a while, but I mean, I'm open to playing whatever kinds of games, yeah.
Um, Let me think. What kind of books do you read?
All kinds, fiction, nonfiction. I like fantasy, sci-fi, classic
Okay.
literature, whatever.
So there's a writer named R.A. Salvatore.
Yeah, I heard
You
of
know
him.
who he is? You know who he
Yeah.
is?
Uh-huh.
Go and pick up the first books that he wrote, or any of the books that he wrote. Give those a try.
Okay.
Whole different style of writing in the fantasy sci-fi world.
Mhm.
Very good writer. When you do writing, what are you writing?
I just kind of write whatever I feel like comes up. So like fantasy, some sci-fi, poetry. Um,
What's the
really,
longest story you've written?
oh gosh, probably like 20,000 words.
Pretty
Not
good.
long.
Pretty
Okay.
good. 20. A lot of people, it's 1,000 words is what they get and they quit.
Yeah.
Okay. I actually say it's pretty good. Okay. That 20,000 word story, how long do you think it took you to write?
Not long, probably a couple months.
Okay. You still have it?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you read it from beginning to end?
Oh, it's been a few months. I like to put things away, so I forget about that.
I know that. I like to put things away because you know them every word.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So once you feel that it's sufficiently away enough, you can come back and read it,
Mhm.
pick a side character, and try to write 5,000 words for a side character.
Okay.
Or start a brand new story and can I get to 20,000 words?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the goal is to get to 50,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Or a bunch of 5,000 word stories.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you ever heard me talk about world building, writing
Yeah.
with $10? You got to do that for yourself.
Okay.
World building is such a rich and rewarding experience.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of times those short 500 words, 1,000, just world building. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You create a myth. There was a time where a plague took over the land and some great healer came out and created a cure for the healing. And it's something you could use a reference that a character talk about. The plague of 67.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I love that. Mm-hmm.
And little things like that. That's world building.
Okay.
Even draw a map of your world.
Yeah. I was just thinking that I have like all these maps that I've drawn that are really cool.
Okay. 1 second here. Did you have a shoe fetish?
I love shoes.
How many shoes are in your closet?
I don't have a lot of shoes right now. I kind of got rid of them all.
Okay.
So I'm like looking for new shoes.
All right. So part of the clothing and shoe journey, what you can go and do is go to thrift shops and vintage clothing stores and find stuff that fits your body or fits your body type a little bit above and a little bit below. And you can turn that into a side business on eBay. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can model your own clothing, take pictures of your own self, or just have the raw clothing as pictures. Your body has to be brought to this sacred energy again, and it has to see that your body can make money not through sex.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Getting that transactional energy of sex for money out. Okay? Even if you're making just $100 a month, and you still get the joy of shopping for
Mm-hmm.
you, the new clothing, does it look right, does it not look right, and you can turn around and sell it on eBay.
Okay.
And 6 hours a week of work of taking pictures and making posts,
Mm-hmm.
and the rest of it is putting it in the mail and sending it when somebody buys it. Okay?
Cool. Yeah.
Okay? Again, these are all part of the grand recipe of regenerating you and your body, and you being in your body and loving your body and not seeing it as a sex object.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Do you have any other questions you want to ask me?
No, you've given me a lot to go over and work on and ponder. So thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Call us back in a month or so and tell us how things are going with you.
I will. Thank you.
All right, darling. You take it easy and have a great day.
You too. Bye.
All right, Joel, we're going to call it an end to the show. It's been wonderful talking to all these people. We will be back tomorrow for our Friday night game stream. And as a reminder to everybody, this coming Sunday, we're having a free webinar at 12 noon EST, where we're going to be doing the Galactic Drive-In Movie Theater, where I'll be taking you on a tour of many galactic places through a meditation, where you'll get to experience the out there inside yourself. All right, Joel, take us